All right, here is the specimen for today. It is a 13.42 pound choice brisket from Sam's Club. I'm using a little bit of a special pepper, a black Tellicherry peppercorn, and I have ground it to, as I did in another video, to as close to a 16 mesh, which is what Aaron Franklin uses, and so that's what I do with mine. I'm also using his recipe of 50-50 salt and pepper. I mean, here's what I ground the pepper in, and I got it, like I said, close as good to the 16 mesh, which is what he uses. I've also got post oak pellets in, it's actually my son's Traeger, but I have it here, and I'm doing post oak pellets to see just how close I can get to a Texas brisket, like Aaron Franklin style, on a pellet grill. So I'm about to get this unwrapped, get it dried off a little bit, and start this coating process with the pepper. So I'll be back. Okay, so here's what I'm using for a binder. I'm going to use this beef tallow, and I'm just going to lightly rub it, and then we're going to drop the salt and pepper on it. And I'm cooking it fat cap up on the other side. But anyhow, I'm about to get it ready. I'm going to let it sit here a little while with the salt and pepper on it and kind of soak that up, and maybe start heating the Traeger in a minute. Just for the record, that's about how much I used on that side. A little bit out of there. Like I said, just a binder, something to make that salt and pepper stick. Okay, so right quick, I'm wanting to cook this brisket at 265 at least for a little while, and I may lower it, raise it, whatever. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I'm going to let it cook for 3 or 4 hours, see what the probes are doing, because I got plenty of probes in it. But I've got the Traeger set for 265, and with my ThermoWorks signals, I've got a deck probe right on the deck, which I'll explain that right quick too. I moved the bottom rack to the middle, and that makes a big rack in the center of the grill. And it works on this Traeger. It also works on the 1300. This is the 850, but it works on the 1300 too. I've tried it at Home Depot at the one they had on display. But what I'm getting at is right now, the deck is 259, and I've seen right around 259 to 270. It's perfect. It's exactly what I'm wanting. With this set at 265, and with that rack in the middle, just like that. And there is the probe. So I know it's the right temp. I'm going to move that before I put the brisket in, but I just wanted to go over that. It may look a little strange to you when you see it cooking up here on that big rack, but that's what it is. I've got the middle rack on the bottom rack on the top. So I'll get off that. Okay, so I've got so many probes. I do want to explain some of the reasons. These are 4-meter probes, so they read the outside temp. And the reason I want those in there is so I can see if I've got a hot side, because I want this on my hot side, the thick side on my hot. Now, I don't intend to wrap this brisket, but I got a 24-inch pink butcher paper there if I need to. Here is what we're running. Make sure you can see what I'm talking about. Here's what we're running in the smoke in the Traeger. It's B&B post oak. You can't see it because they put the tape over it, but there it is. Post oak right there. And if that 20 pounds may not be enough, well, I've got plenty of hickory that I may have to add. I hope not, but if I do, I do. It's no big deal. Maybe by that time I'll have it wrapped, or maybe even moved to the oven. But anyhow, I'm about to set this on that center rack that I showed you, and we're going to get this going. And again, probes are everywhere. I love them. I wouldn't live without them. I don't know how people cook without them. I don't think they do a lot of times right, but that's just my opinion. So I'm going to set that right there, try and drag these around. I've got them ran through the, I'm going to go ahead and put that one back. So I got to find that little thing, but it ain't a crisis. I could just lay it right there for now. I don't want it to get too out of control by leaving it open. But if you get my idea on these, I can tell if I got if it's hotter on this side, I'll leave it there. If it's hotter on that side, I'm going to spin it around. And I haven't done a lot of cooking on this grill, so I don't know yet. This is a very good way to find out. Right now, I'm going to close that. You know what? Yeah, I dropped it, so I'll get it back, and in a minute I'll open it up and get that set on the deck somewhere fairly close. So, be back. Okay, just so you'll know, right there is where I put the signals deck probe, but you can see I got a lot of probes in here, but it looks good. I'm anxious to see how it's going to turn out. It is 8:15, and I don't need this till like 1 o'clock tomorrow. So we're going to see. Like I said, I love that keep warm feature that I can, even if I'm at, say, it's Saturday night, so if I'm at church tomorrow and this hits the temp I want, I'll switch it to keep warm. It's a really good feature. Okay, so I didn't say it when I put the brisket in, but like the brisket's laying like this, and 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how I have the probes. Well, these two numbers are scaring me because that's 3 and 4, which are on the flat, and these two are on the point. Well, the numbers, in fact, I like the numbers being there, that high number on the ambient, the 254, because it's on the fattest part of the meat, and that's my ambience on the meter, if you understand those. This one right here is doing what it's doing. It looks good, other than it's a little hotter than I like. What I'm getting at is I'm going to lower this from 265 down to 230, and that's where I'm going to leave it the rest of the night, and wait on my numbers to get what I need, and well, cut it off or put it on keep warm. That's exactly what I mean. Not cut it off, but put it on keep warm. See y'all then. Okay, so you're reading that right. This has turned into an 18-hour cook on the brisket. So I'm going to try and explain it as best I can, but obviously I got up and checked it, or actually I just checked with the app. I checked the pellet level and it was fine, and I didn't really look at anything else. I didn't even come out here. That was about right here because everything looked good on the app. Well, at 4:30 this morning, it cut off. I don't know why. We didn't, as far as we know, we didn't have any power surges or anything like that. So it stayed off like an hour. I lit it back up, let it go, got in the bed, watched it for a little while. It was running, got in the bed, it stopped again. It stayed off again for another hour. Lit it one more time this morning around 7:30 before I went to church and all, and came back, and it was still really low on temp, so I raised the temp to 265, which is where it's at now. But here's what I'm getting at, or the bottom line. I'm going to try and research why the grill cut off, and when I know a better answer, I will update, or I'll let you know if I find an answer. But there's my temps, 207, 203, 205. The only one I got low is 196, and that's the one I'm kind of waiting on, but you can see on the signals, or maybe you can, 198, around that same point. Okay, I've waited long enough. 18 hours is long enough for me, so I'm going to let that 197 go. It's not a big deal. If you look the rest of my probes, and I got plenty of them. This one's 200 now, so we're going with it. I'm actually going to hit the keep warm function because I've never used the keep warm function. And one thing I will say that also went on last night is it's not connected to my network anymore, so I can't control it from the app. So I'm going to control it right here. I'm going to hit keep warm. It says keep warm on, and we're going to let it run for about, I don't know, 30, 45 minutes on keep warm, and then I may slice it. I hadn't really decided yet. I may let it rest for a few hours, but anyhow, doesn't matter. We are going to officially end the cook, I guess you'd say, after whatever, 18, 19 hours, but be back. I put it on keep warm and put an hour timer on my watch, so it's around 40 minutes of time, just in case you want to know. It's dropped to 178 on the deck, so that's not bad, and I like that feature a lot, and I will use that a lot. And with this, so many things going on with this brisket that I'm going to go ahead and pull it now, and I may rest it, I may not. But by the way, I probed it a while ago, and it felt good. But like I said, this brisket really went through the ringer on all these temps adjustments and changes, and the device shutting down and all that stuff. So I'll show it to you because I'm going to go get a thing and pull it off. But here's what it looks like right now, and you can kind of see it. It's a little dark out here, although it's daylight, But it don't look bad. I'll show it to you again when we get it in here and let it rest. I'm gonna try and let it rest 15, 20 minutes anyhow. Be back. Okay, we're about to see what it looks like. I've rushed to rest and all that, but as you know the story, and I got people here that's been expecting this thing for hours. So I'm just gonna cut it, let you see what it looks like, and then I'll let you know how that Tellicherry did. That's one of the main things I do want to know, but you can see it looks excellent. I don't see anything wrong with it. I need to make sure I got everything going on the camera. In fact, I'm going to hack one off right here. And I know I'm not going in right grain and all, I don't believe, but I do want to taste it. Get an idea on how the Tellicherry did. Man, there ain't nothing wrong with it. It's really good. And obviously that fresh ground Tellicherry pepper is worth doing too, I'd say. It's real good. And they're dying to eat some of it, so there you go. So I'll break down hopefully what went wrong with the grill, and I'll try and put it in this video. But anyhow, I'm about to serve these people. Let's see. All right, the brisket's ready to slice up meat. Everybody knows the story, and I'm videoing it in case they all end up in the emergency room tonight. Had to cut off 2 or 3 times last night.
I need a contract.
But there you go.
Look, I just ate a stick of butter. It's been out for a month.
Yeah, I don't refrigerate my butter. And you've been doing that for years here, by the way. You ain't dead.
I want to get that on camera.
There you go. Well, come on. Let's eat it. Well, you don't seem to be having a problem with it. If it wasn't for them hot dogs and that barbecue Kathy had put in, though, we'd been in a mess there right at the church. Okay, there is all that is left. I told them, I said, hey, the temperatures went up and down all night. Everybody, I said, eat at your own risk. And we did. And this has been cut a while, so it looks a little dry. I'll show you. I've already showed it to you once, but I did want to show it to you a little bit better because it really was absolutely excellent. I do think it had a lot to do with that Tellicherry peppercorns, that fresh ground, and I'm going to cut that off because, like I said, it's been cut for a while. But just to give you an idea of what the other end looked like, there it is. And spectacular. That's all I can say. Comments like the best I've ever had. I heard that more than once, and you know, stuff like that. Everybody loved it. It was really, really good. Again, that maybe a couple of things by using that as a binder, but mainly, again, that right there. You should try it if you got time. I think I got that on Amazon for, I can't remember. It wasn't much, $10 or so, I'm guessing. You'd have to look it up, but that's what I got. Those right there. And I haven't found out what was wrong with the Traeger yet. I suspected, if you know anything about a Traeger, it has a plug in, the 110-volt cord plugs in from the bottom. So I got to thinking about it a while ago, that maybe that had just the weight of the wire, maybe let it pull down on it, and it had got close to coming out. And maybe it was, you know, breaking connection and causing it to cut off those 2 times. But I went and checked it, and it was plugged in very well. I even wiggled it, and the display didn't flicker or anything. So I'm not sure yet. I am going to take it apart and look at it further. Again, it's my son's, but anyhow, it's got to be fixed. We've got to figure out what it is. And if you've had that problem, by all means, please put it in the comments what you found was wrong with yours, if you had to replace a controller or if you found something else. But other than that, very, very pleased with the way the brisket turned out. So, and like I said, if I do find that problem, I'll post it. Hey, love y'all. Thanks for watching my video. Try you one of these on your Traeger or on your pellet grill. And that right there. Y'all have a good day. Bye-bye. All right, so I wanted to kind of update this video because I had already uploaded it and was going to post it, and I decided to add to it, and that's what this is. I called Traeger today, their support, and I got a guy named Ian. He was very helpful. I had tried, since the little mishap I had where it cut off a couple of times, I had tried and tried and tried to get it to take the app back, where I could, you know, take the network back, I guess you'd say, where I could control it from the app or even see it from the app, and I couldn't get it to go. Ian walked me through some things, and it worked great. We forgot the network. I'll just say what we did. We forgot the network, which honestly I had already done, but you know, kind of cleared that out. And then we reinstalled the app. Now that's something I hadn't done. That might be something you want to think about if you're having problems. I deleted and reinstalled my app. And but the one thing it did do different this time was it's just shut off. I've been running it. I ran it a couple hours and it didn't give any problems. Of course, it won't know for I run it 12 hours. But anyhow, you know, that was one of the things it did. We put the new app, I put the app on and then let it connect. And the thing it did different was it did 2 updates. Now, I don't know if that was a big deal, but it's never done that before. It did an update and then it did another. So if you're having problems, you know, it looks like this should have fixed it. Now, it may not have, but I'm doing a cook for the church this weekend, and I'll probably have 3 Boston butts or so on this grill. And honestly, I've ordered a grill, and it's a different brand, and you know, I'm going to see how it does. And hopefully, I'll have them side by side before long and do some cook-offs. That's kind of my intent. I got to get this back to my son. He actually owns it. But I was going to try and do a couple of cooks side by side to see which one does best. And that should happen. Well, that's going to happen this weekend. So hopefully I'll have a video coming out on that soon. And plus, I'll know for sure then, because that'll be 3 Boston butts will be at least 12 to 15, maybe 16 hours or so, because they're doing like 9-pound butts. And that'll answer whether the big problem it had has gone. So keep an eye. If it doesn't make it, I will post it in the description of the video as soon as it gives problems again. But long story short, I feel confident. It looks like everything's fine, and I've been pleased with the thing so far. Again, I'm pleased with it, but it's my son's. Anyhow, thank y'all for watching. Y'all come back to see me. Bye.